Boom, boom. This is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a bit of Soulland Reloaded up today. So we got a few things going on. So we got the time limited event. This is the last day for this, so make sure that you do claim all this because you get a bunch of the actual summons, the summon tokens for the actual martial souls. So you will do that, as well as some doomstones, which are always useful. They have a pretty good, as always, a pretty good weekly gift bag. I decided not to go ahead and spend that because we do have another event up which you're going to be able to use your diamonds on. I'll show you that here shortly. Purchases if you want to make it, and then of course into a soul bone chest event. So you can open up the soul bone events. If you open up, 40, 60, 80 times. Now these are not 10 set opens. This is just one because this is actually, you don't get as many of these as you get of some of the others. So this is just opening up one of the actual chests. So it might be possible if you've saved up for a while to get some, because they do have some pretty high rewards starting to get up in here. Those are really, really good rewards. So as these, the Phoenix Divine Bud, Spirit Source, so Doomstones, a lot of really good stuff in there. So keep that in mind. Time limited exchange is up, of course. Now this is associated with the point tickets. And then it's Super Monday. Of course, make sure you complete this weekend. So on Monday, tomorrow, you'll be able to claim the actual diamonds. Now, we've also got the shopping carnival up. And this is what I was hoping. I knew they were going to probably give us something, because anytime they slightly increase the amount of diamonds that you're getting, and then don't have any events or something for you to actually use those diamonds on, it generally indicates that they're going to be throwing up some type of time limited sale, or in this case they threw up the carnival. Now this is having some issues. They've extended, they're supposed to be extending this for another day, because we're getting errors when we try to purchase stuff inside of here. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but when I noticed I did get an email, and it said they had 500 diamonds in there, and they said that they were having some issues with some of the shops and whatnot. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this, but this is really good stuff. I've already purchased it once, because as you can see, I've already spent 15,350 diamonds, and I'm going to get a rebate of 1842. When I tried to claim the rebate this morning, which is when it said that it was out of time, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I think that's just associated with the problems that they're having at this particular point. I mean, it does say, contact support. Run into some small mishaps, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to this. But the email said that they were going to extend this for another day, so it might still be up tomorrow, and you'll be able to partake of it. This stuff, I believe this was only a one-shot purchase for these. I purchased all of these items. Except for the actual the chest for the immortal herbs. I purchased everything else, okay, and it had been shown as bought until this morning when I tried to log on to it. I was going to go ahead and snatch up, I had one of these I wanted to get, and some of the one set of doomstones I wanted to pick up before the event ended, and it started giving me errors immediately. Plus I noticed that all this stuff was reset, and it hadn't been as of yesterday evening when I did my standard clear in the evening. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. So I think there's just an issue with this at this particular time. We'll check back in. I'll check back in on it this evening, and we'll see. But I think it's going to be extended till tomorrow. So I have to wait and see if they do, in fact, do that. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot of different things going on. Just do make sure that you complete the actual giant beast trial, because the rewards in this were excellent rewards. They had some really good materials, as well as some of the higher end spirit source and whatnot. And it's very easy to complete. It only takes about 3 days. You get like 12 picks a day just to clear away the fog. And then you just advance through. And on the last screen, right here, you'll see three bosses. Didn't have any trouble defeating them. All three of them dropped fairly quickly. Then you'll be able to open up all these chests, as well as purchase a bunch of pretty decent items inside of here. As you can see, I bought quite a bit. So it's definitely something that you want to do, and it's going to reset at 17 hours. Okay, so you'll be able to run through it again. I think as they go through this, I think it gets a little bit tougher each time. So I assume the rewards will go up to match what you're doing. You know, harder the shots, better the rewards. That's what I'm thinking. But it's a really nice format, and like I say, you can only do 12 a day. So just do it, fight the boss, go, keep going, and then next day do another 12. Next day do another 12. I think it took like 4 days to clear the levels, and you got a lot of good rewards in the process. I mean, each one of the little soul beasts that you kill inside of there is giving you like 2,000 materials, which is really great for your soul bones and whatnot. So it's definitely something that is useful. In terms of that, there's really not a whole lot going on for this week. Like I say, the shopping carnival was the big thing, and it's currently having trouble. I don't think if I still have the email up. Yeah. Bug in exchange Shannon rebate diamonds. That was when you opened up this morning and the rebate screen popped up, and I clicked on it, but it kept saying that it was out of time or out of set or something like that. I'm not sure what it was talking about. So they're going to extend it 1 day. Okay, so I assume that, you know, so that's an extra day. So hopefully we'll have an extra day to reclaim that stuff. However, if you look at the Action Carnival, it now shows 11:28. Okay, but it only shows it on the actual shopping mall portion. It doesn't show it on this. Okay, but I still have not been able to obtain my actual rebate. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get the rebate. This right here, because like I said, I have not been able to cover it. So hopefully I'll be able to get it sometime today or sometime tomorrow maybe, while this is going on right here. We'll be able to get, you know, be able to, since this is going to be continuing tomorrow, maybe tomorrow I'll be able to get my 1,800 diamond rebate back. But yeah, as of right now, I haven't been able to claim it as of yet. But we'll check and see tomorrow. So yeah, keep that in mind. Go ahead and run through it. We should have a bunch of new stuff pop up. All these time limited events are going away tomorrow. As you can see, the 3-day event for the souls have been completed. So that's going to be going away. The wheels and all that stuff are going to be clearing out. And like I said, they're going to be extending this today, but they'll most likely have some type of event pop up, and we'll be able to continue on with that. Hopefully, it won't disrupt keeping this open a day. It shouldn't cause any trouble for the two things. On a counter note, I finally topped 5, so I was able to clear another one of the actual Sorfol's trials. So I'm now up to Peak Dulu 3. So we're gonna have to start working through this one to get to Peak Dulu, you know, 4 or 5, and so forth and so on. But it's just been basically, it's a BP race at this particular point. As you increase your BP, you rank up. I always have the second one completed. They did not ask me for a awakening, so you won't have awakened 5 characters to max inside of 2. I'm not sure if we're going to encounter it in 3, but I assume we will encounter it somewhere. Just as the next phase would be having 5 fully awakened. I'm almost at that point. I've been working on Evil Eye. I'm pretty close to getting him to where I've got him maxed out. I've got all the pieces except for the last piece, Awaken. And that's this one right here. And as you can see, I need 24 of the actual things up. So the next time they have a soul bone event, you can usually walk away with about 30 or 40 from a soul bone event. So I'll probably be able to, at the end of the next soul bone event, be able to get the final 64 that's needed to completely have him fully awakened. And then at that point, if I do get that particular requirement inside of the Soul Force drop, I'll have it, and I'll be able to pass right through it once I reach the required BP, which seems to be what they're focusing on. So this is the last day, so remember to make sure that you clear everything up inside of your tasks. Okay, make sure you get all of your dailies cleared out and all of your weeklies. Okay, just you want to make sure that you do get the final chest. I got a few more runs to make inside of the actual event status here inside the Shrek Academy. Now, I've tried something new in a few of the actual things, and it's turning out to be exceedingly effective, especially inside of the Soul Ascension platform. What I've done is I've removed, I decided to go ahead and remove the healing which was wrong, um, from the team, and instead put Evil Eye in there. My hesitation about that had been originally because I thought everybody would die before the end of the events, thus negating the fact that I would be able to do more damage. Found out that did not happen. Um, I did lose Sea God Tang San on the Treant. Okay, he died right before the end of the event, but I got him through that. So I was able to greatly increase my damage on the Treant and on the Tyrant, and inside of the actual Sec boss as well, by utilizing die, because these three are able to hold on long enough. And as a matter of fact, inside of the Sec boss, I did not see none of these even came close to dying, so the healing was not really needed in that particular phase either. So, but yeah, it's turned out that I've been able to increase my damage a lot more, and especially in the Soul Ascension platform. I was able to clear 4 new levels on that I hadn't been able to clear before when I was using wrong at the team. So it looks like the survivability in certain phases can be accomplished without having a healer, but it's hit or miss. The way I see it is at this particular point that having the main team that I'm probably going to be sticking with is probably going to be Evil Eye, Clear Sky, Angel, Ren, and Sea God Tang San. I'm not going to put Wrong on the main team at this particular time. Now, what I have done and what I did on the Tyrant, which helped out a little bit, was I set up my support skill 1 and support skill 2 as healing. So I had Wrong come off a support 1, and I had Yen come off as support 2. Okay, and then I had BB Dong come off as my attack on support 3. That worked out really well. I was able to increase damage because I've got now, instead of having a healer in the main team and having an attacker come off of the actual support skill, I've got an attacker, Evil Eye, and Triple S in at all times, enabled me to get in the top 5 on the Tyrant, on the Treant. And I was able to get about 70 million more damage inside of the Sec boss doing that. And there was not any type of drop off. Didn't lose anybody. Like I say, at the very end of the Treant, Sea God died, and that's just because he was doing his bramble. The brambles come up out of the ground and they're wiggling all over the place, hitting you. And Sea God's, he's a backliner. Okay, so he's going to be a little bit weaker when it comes to survivability. But he managed to survive until the very end, so it really didn't matter at this particular point. I assume if I get him a little bit stronger, get his divine skill up a little bit, he'll probably won't have any trouble surviving at all. His divine skill is not very high, but you can see he's only God 2 compared to these others, which are God 4, God 5. So with Wrong his healing, he's able to overcome. I assume once I get him to God 3, I probably won't have much for trouble doing that. It's a little bit slow getting his skill up because they don't give you a lot of the 8 SS plus shards. One place they do give it is the free one each day, but like it's only 1, so that's not really that big a deal. I really wish they would stick it into the festival, but they have not stuck it in there as of yet. So we'll just hopefully that would be 10 a day. Right now I'm using those 10 a day on Ren because Ren is inside of the festival. So we'll have to wait and see exactly which way that goes. But for the time being, yeah, everything seems to be working out fine. All right. Now, so that's what you might want to consider doing. Try doing that. I've got Evil out pretty high. I didn't want to move him in there. His survivability is no longer a question. I mean, even though he's only at the first level of his divine skill, he still has no problem. His entire skill set is built on survivability, and when you do that, he's going to survive. So yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble once you've got him up. Get some good skill sets on him. Make sure his weapons max out his armor. Put a good soul bone set on him. Rank up his skills, and you shouldn't have any trouble him staying alive. At least not that I can find. So I have switched to using him inside of the as the main team, and I'll continue to do that. I mean, there are going to be issues and times and on certain events where a healer might be better. And we've still got to wait and see what the like I said, we got Ling coming out here shortly, probably sometime maybe the end of this week. So we want to make sure she might be really totally awesome. But it's going to make things interesting in terms of needing a healer. Are healers something that is needed as you once you get up into your God 3s and God 4s? Do you really need a healer? Okay, definitely PvP. You're probably going to need a healer, but I mean, but in terms of actual sort of like PvE type events, is it something that's needed? Because at this point, I'm not seeing it. None of the three, Ren, who's a tank, Clear Sky, who's just totally OP, and considering he's maxed out, and then Evil Eye, whose skill set's built on survivability. None of those three were even remotely close to dying. And like I say, even C God tanks in, who's only a God 1, and he's a backliner, so backliners don't usually have survivability. He still managed to survive until there were like 5 or 6 seconds left when the tree was doing his bramble. But other than that time, he had been surviving fine as well. So I just don't. I don't think it's just a lot more. Get a lot higher scores if you just switch. So if you've got, maybe try to go with a tank, 2 melee attackers, and then 1 AoE, backliner. That might be something that you want to consider. For me, it gave me more damage, and it has not affected my survivability enough to make it where it's not useful. Because if everybody dies so fast, then you're not going to get more damage anyway. So you need to have your healer in there. But I think I've got my divine skills up enough and my armor up enough that I'm able to survive a lot of the stuff until the very end. So it's something to definitely consider. For me, it's what I'm going to be continuing working on. I'm going to continue focusing on that. And then when Ling comes out, we'll make a determination if that's something I want to do. She's going to have more effects, so maybe we'll get some healing stat buffs, and maybe we'll get some type of offense from her as well, even though she's a healer. That might make her more useful in terms. We'll bring her up. We'll see, and we'll stick with whichever one gives you the best results. So understand that for PvP, yeah, you're going to need a healer. PvE related and specific content, you might be able to get by with just using without putting a healer on the main team, but have them come off the support. That way, when they come off support, they'll activate their skills, and you get some healing that way. But I find that having Wrong and Aya come off support 1 and support 2, I got a ton of more damage because you can say what you want about the new Evil Eye, but he does do a ton of damage. That's one of the things I've noticed about him going up against teams that he's always the last one to go down, and he's always the one with the highest damage quota. So we'll have to look at that as well. But keep that in mind in terms of a team that you may be able to get by without a healer. If the others are, have a high enough armor quotient and a higher enough god status, meaning the divine skills, because divine skills give them buffs and whatnot, and you might be able to survive without needing a healer. Okay, so that's all I got. Just wanted to go ahead and get that out there, let you know that they were having trouble with the shop in Carnival. So if it's not working for you, we'll have to see exactly what the end game is for that. But it might be up tomorrow for certain skins if you're looking for that. All right. So other than that, that's all I've got. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it and get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as that does help the channel immensely. This is Kim here, coming at you from the corner, signing out.